Have you ever tried walking on shifting sands, where disruptive changes take place under your feet? The world today is on shifting sands, with multiple challenges thrown at it. One key challenge is how super rich avoid taxes, how tax fugitives escape as nations tighten their tax laws, how countries compete with one another to lure them away, and how offshore shell companies grow exponentially. The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists have found that 785,000 offshore companies, foundations, and trusts operate from tax havens. They have published their investigations in major global dailies from Panama Papers, Offshore Leaks, Bahama Papers, and the Paradise Papers. In the first India Emerging podcast of the Shifting Sand series, I, author, journalist, and TV commentator Sandeep Sen, outline a host of key challenges that India and the world face and answer several questions posed by my readers. Nearly 23,000 dollar millionaires left India between 2014 to 2017. They left largely due to regulatory pressure and tightening of laws in the Indian banking and financial sector that Ruchir Sharma of Morgan Stanley calls collateral damage of regulatory overkill. One question I am frequently asked is, do the ultra rich change their domicile status often? Yes, the Capgemini New World Wealth Annual Report tracks this global migration every year. Nearly 95,000 millionaires migrated in the year 2017 as against 82,000 high net worth individuals in 2016. 10,000 super rich left China for other locations in 2017 against 9,000 in 2016. 7,000 millionaires left India for offshore destinations in 2017 against 6,000 in 2016. 6,000 ultra rich persons left Turkey to settle abroad both in 2016 as well as in 2017. In France's case, it was a little bit different. France saw 12,000 millionaires flee in 2016. However, the numbers dropped to just 4,000 in the year 2017. So, why do the super rich migrate? Primarily to pay lesser taxes, at times to avoid regulatory action, often to avoid tax penalties and imprisonment, and occasionally to search for better overseas opportunities. In 2018, the CNBC reported that 800,000 wealthy people would flee New York and California due to high taxes. This is, however, contested by several economists. So, how much in taxes do countries lose annually due to tax avoidance? In 2017, the World Economic Forum report says that US lost about 188.8 billion due to tax avoidance in 2016. China with tax losses of 66.8 billion was a distant second. Japan with tax losses of 46.8 billion was in the third spot, while India was fourth in the list and lost 41.2 billion in taxes. France lost 19.8 billion in taxes to take the fifth spot. In the next podcast of the series, I will answer some very interesting questions on who were the most famous tax fugitives, what crimes do fugitive billionaires commit, how do they escape, why do they escape, where do they escape, Who gives them shelter? Do they ever return? And what do governments do to bring them back? You can also read my book India Emerging from Policy Paralysis to Hypereconomics, published by Bloomsbury on 18th April 2019, to know more about the taxpayers' money and what good and bad executive decisions mean for developing democracies of the world. Thank you and see you next fortnight.